Hey everybody, and welcome to the stream. Today's one of those special ones because it's ahead of the FOMC statement, and we all know what that means. Uncertainty. And what else does it mean? It means we're probably going to be at a key resistance or support leading into the FOMC statement. Let's take a quick look at what time it is. And I want to say a massive shout out to each and every one of you out there. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you've had a good couple of sessions. I hope you got that gap fill yesterday that we spoke about in the markets. And if you're looking for the longs, maybe you found some very tasty treats, some very tasty stocks out there. FOMC economic projections and statement coming out 2 p.m. ET today. Then the press conference 2:30 p.m. And then on Friday, we scroll down here. By the way, Forex traders, you've got a lot of euro and Great British Pound information coming out this week. So London, the UK will be a big thing to look at. Then we've got 10 a.m. Fed Chair Powell speaks on Friday. That's right. He's coming out. And we have a potential change to the Evergrande situation. Obviously, a partial bailout really pushing those Asian markets up. What do you guys think about that? Do you reckon the bailout's real? I mean, obviously it's real, but do we think that it's going to be fully forced, or is it going to just be through some sections? As I expect, they'll probably move through. They'll bail certain bits out. They've obviously stabilized the bonds for now, and then they'll work through it over time. So look, that's a positive thing into today's market. We're sitting at around 43.81 for the S&P 500. We are sitting at 15,100 on the Nasdaq. And I think we've got some great key zones. So let's get stuck right into it. What's this? Rogue Angel says, this will be the biggest BTFD ever. Ever. Oh, well, I think there's bigger than ever, but yes, fair enough. Ed Al says, full force YOLO style. YOLO is a bit scary, but fair enough. Only bails out domestic, not the dollar holders. Yes. So we'll have to see we don't know enough still about the information there, Colin. You are correct. Let's see what everyone else says. I went through a earthquake today, guys, to get here. So you can't say I don't stream every day because I've been streaming every day, even through earthquakes. Very scary, I'm sure many of you have gone through much more than a 5.8 Richter scale, but it's unusual for us. So let's get stuck into this Nasdaq, because Nasdaq and S&P 500 have great key points on it. We spoke about this zone yesterday. We spoke about the importance of opening in a resistance or support. We ended up opening at the resistance, sold off, filled the gap, moved down. Now we look to break past this level after the FOMC. If the FOMC gets us through this zone, where do we move to? Of course, the gap fill. All gaps fill, yeah? At least most of them do eventually. Now, if we close through this zone here, this area, I believe we are looking at the long, and I do think that we're looking at the long into the previous points of support. So let's dial into the smaller timeframes here to talk about this some more. Let's go to the 2-hour time frame. Look at this. Look at this. We have the resistance. We've got the 200 here on the 2-hour. We've kind of got like a trough. We've got a bit of a peak. We've got a higher trough that's formed through the futures as well. If we close through, what's that look like, guys? A bit of a lightning bolt as well. So first move on the Nasdaq is from here to here. We expect some selling to occur there. If it gets through that zone, next point, 15.5. And if it gets through 15.5, then we just keep going along. I would still think being nimble and quick is the best type of trades here. And these types of participation zones are very key levels. I think there's some great key levels here for us to be looking at. What do you guys think? Is it good? And before we keep going, I also want to find out, what is everyone's take ahead of this FOMC? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Let us know in the chat right now, guys, as well as hitting that like button. That will help out if you do that for me. Hit the like button, guys. Just tap it wherever it is. Bottom right, bottom left. I don't know where it is. Bottom left, bottom right. Just accidentally click the subscribe button. That'll be all right. James Gale says, any chance it's somewhere else? It's something else lowering the market. They've known about Evergrande situation for months, possibly the European energy crisis. Oh, you could find 500 different reasons to be in. It could be US debt ceiling, could be, wait a second, maybe the market's overheated. There's always another excuse. And what we always say, and I'll say this and I'll stick to it, is usually it's something in plain sight. They use it as an excuse and it pulls down. Whatever the excuse is, though, it has to be credible. So say that situation is credible. It always seems like the end of the world that begins the end of the kind of market and the bust and the bear trap and all this other type of stuff. But realistically, most of the time, being an optimist will pay off. As we know, we have our key support levels. Let's go through those as well. So market continues down. Let's say it breaks underneath yesterday's low here and it keeps going down. 14.8, a key support. Very, very nice support. Could be as low as we ever got. If we get underneath 14.8, 14.5 on the Nasdaq, and then my favorite zone, 14,050 to 14.1. And I'll explain why that's so beautiful. Look at this trend line. Oh, I would love that so much. If we came back down to this level, guys, that's like Bellissimo when they go to Italy and they go just like Mama made it or whatever. That is a fantastic bottom trend line if we ended up hitting it. You know why I love it so much? Guess everybody. Why do we love the bottom trend line so much? Not just because it's the bottom trend line. It gives us something to hope for in the future. Let's see if anyone's got a big brain out there. Wide Awake says, Mama needs a new pair of shoes. Absolutely. Let's go. Maybe some Gucci thongs. What is it? Gucci flip-flops, whatever you guys call them over there. Sandals. $700. What a ripoff. I bought the dip the last 2 days in the FANG, says Rogue Angel. Very well done. Nice. Verified News. Dave says, yo, chat, what's up? Good to have you here as always. Everyone's bullish. Let's have a look here. Bullish, bearish, YOLO-ish. Ed Al's got problems, guys. I think Ed Al might take a little bit too much leverage. You know what I mean? Be careful out there, Ed. Blazing Ape says a 5.8 is just a Tuesday here in Costa Rica. Yeah, I know. I'm making a big deal about nothing. I understand. Tom says, Tom, where's your vest? Did you leave it at the protest? Oh, I don't get involved in those shenanigans, man. We're here to talk about the market. None of this craziness. Though I must say, no kicking dogs, guys. That's not cool. Very uncool. Don't do that. I come from a farming background. We do not do that. No. I think everyone can agree on that point. We do not kick the dogs or the cats. It is very mean. Retail is the risk, more sellers. So it looks like most people are kind of like, I'd say it's like middle ground, bullish and bearish. These are the key levels. I like all these supports and resistances. I would have them on my chart. In fact, I do. And I think these are the key levels we should be looking out for. Let's have a look at the US 100 just so you can see the futures market. Go to the 2 hour just to show you how the futures market looks. Still got the same key resistance. Trough, peak, higher trough, obviously higher peak. I just wanted to really show you why I'm saying that kind of breakout is so important. And of course, we know this was actually just futures trade. So we're looking for it back to that level. Make sense? I think it makes perfect sense. These are all the key levels. Let's go over to the US 500 now. The S&P 500. Futures, 4,400, guys. Trough, peak, higher trough. Obviously looking for it to break through there. Move towards that 4,450. Let's have a look at the SPX. There's the SPX. Same thing. We're looking for it to close above. Once it closes above, this range here becomes highly likely it will move into that. FOMC will be the trigger if it does do it. We get past there. We look for the next rally. I mean, we've got beautiful trade zones coming up. These are all the key areas you should be looking at. I've got them all in the chart. 4,300 is basically the 43 on the SPY. So we know that that's where all the puts are. I'll just quickly do a quick rounder here so you guys can see it. 430, that's where all the puts are this week. And for options expiry, 450 is where all the calls are. If Wall Street could keep it in here, ideally they would keep it on the bottom range here to make maximum profit. That would be perfect. If they could close it underneath 440 and 430, guess what they're doing, guys? Crayfish, lunches, and dinners all round for the boys and girls in the office. That's what they're doing. It's a celebration if we can get it to move between those areas by the Friday close. You know, another nice thing is because Jerome's coming out, you know what happens just before Jerome speaks, or even when he speaks, usually that little bit of volatility to go down. Jerome seems to be kind of that thing that he just takes that market down a little bit, And then the next day or the next trading session, of course, it comes right back up. Right back up. Let's scroll up here. Verified News Dave, $2. Mirin, M-R-I-N. Not quite Mirin, but yeah, pre-market, $10, 90% gap up. Sounds dangerous. Do you like to live dangerously? Then M-R-I-N could be for you. Probably guessing it's not. Let's have a look. Yeah, well, that would have been cool if you're in it. But it looks like every time it's rallied, it's had a bit of pumpy on. A bit of pumpy, bit of dumpy. I don't know why it's up, but it does tend to look like a pumpy dumpy to me. It also had that epic run on it in June. Why did that happen? Insane run on it. Hey, if it's another run like that, then congrats. Not for me, unfortunately. I couldn't tell you what to do with it because it's complete gamble guess. You're flipping a coin and going long. And really, which levels? I mean, 10 makes sense because it was a previous kind of closure here. You'll notice it was sold off. You've also got this $12 resistance. I mean, I don't know. The complete guesses here. When I'm complete guessing, I just go like 10, 15, 20, key psychological zones. Let the apes push it into the levels that you want and then go for others. Value Trader says this correction would be a healthy for another bull run. If it delayed taper, also Sean Tay underneath says that. If we were able to pull back down to that Nasdaq channel, the best thing about that, guys, is because we have a clear take profit level. So we know exactly where we should be taking it again. Let me just show you. If we were to pull down here, the reason I love this so much is because then any rally, we can continue using this for the profit targeting, just like we've been doing recently. I would love that. Just trade it for years. Just let's go. Dun, 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 till we break out. It's like playing one of those air hockey tables. That's all we really need to be doing. Very sweet. CMAX says companies' margins are falling, costs are rising. Yes, I think we will have slowdown concerns after the sugar rush has come out. I think the big thing with all this stimulus is we've got stimulus rolling around. We've had checks cut in the US. People will not be necessarily feeling as rich as they might now when they start paying for services again. I think everybody's in that idea of free money, free money, free money, free money. You will eventually have a little bit of a slowdown in the economy. The major concern probably for the world, especially Australia, is going to be China's slowdown. Are they really having a mega slowdown? Is this Evergrande situation really showing a generalized slowdown in the China economy from a GDP growth standpoint? I would say yes. If I was guessing, I'd say yes. Will that change my optimism on the US market? No. Because I think the US market could actually benefit from that slowdown, bringing jobs back into America and, of course, manufacturing and all sorts of other things. There are real opportunities here for America over the next decade, hence why it's the best market in the world. No one has a better market, especially not the ASX. But the ASX is also great because we have the best dividends in the world. We have the best dividends in the world, guys. Dividends are cool still, and we have awesome ones, plus franking credits. Okay, let's see what you guys are thinking. We've got 816 people here already. Thank you very much for smashing that like button. If you have, we do appreciate it. Justin Van Dusa, Fubo. Let's have a look at Fubo. Haven't checked that out for a few days. Fubo. Ooh, Fubo back on support. Nasty Fubo. Yeah, it's a support line. It's like kind of like buying a falling knife. Actually, a little flag there on the downside. If you're game, it is a very key support that we've talked about a few times, but wowzers. I'm not sure if I'm feeling that one. Let's move over to some other indices. IWM, pretty weak. Going to open at 219. 220 will be the key resistance support area. So we're looking at BAM straight into that level. Close above there, you're looking at 224, 225, straight above there, 230, 233, and then above that, it really does look very long. Remember, giant channel now all year if you've never seen that chart. US oil, another one that's interesting. There's our downward trend line. It's recovered off that. It's had some nice bounces. And I noticed this when I was doing the other webinar before. Go and check out the second channel, FX Evolution Live, it's called. If you want to subscribe to that, you will help me out. And we've got here a 2-hour resistance, a 2-hour resistance, both selling. If we close above this, I kind of feel bullish for oil. Great base formation. Let's take a look at it here. Beautiful base, great buying. Take a look at the daily. Again, very strong, long leg doji. If we keep getting that bullish pressure here for the session, we close above, we move back to 73. Then, of course, our 74 profit target. Bounce back down to 73 would be perfect. And then we move up to the 77. I would like that quite a lot. Bob Hayes says, starting to see calm in the markets now. Well, we're basically the calm before the storm, aren't we? The FOMC is not out to technically scare the markets. We've got to remember that. We all go into FOMC like, oh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. It is realistically the FOMC's job to, of course, manage the markets manage the markets to a degree, yeah? Manage the economic system. So it's not in their job to spook everybody. Gordon Poljak, SEC $55. Thank you very much, Gordon. Says, hey, Tom, thanks for your educational content on Elrond yesterday. Have buy orders at 150 to 110. Also, the name Elrond is from Lord of the Rings lore. I've forgotten who Elrond is in Lord of the Rings. I've read those books. I've never watched. Actually, I will never watch those films again. I'll tell you why. When I was maybe 16, maybe 17, I can't remember, my friend thought it was a great idea whenever that stupid third film came out that we would do a marathon. Remember when you used to do marathons? Anyone done a marathon for a film in the cinemas? So this marathon started at 11 p.m. at night. Okay, at 11 p.m. You watch Lord of the Rings 1. Then you watch Lord of the Rings 2. And then you see the new unveiling of Lord of the Rings 3, which started at about 5 a.m. in the morning. So do you think anybody was watching Lord of the Rings 3? No, I still have never finished it. I don't ever want to see it. And that was the worst idea ever. So whenever anyone says, oh, it's a great idea, let's go to one of these night screenings, watch all 3 in a row. Hell no, you say. Hell no. Terrible idea. Who would do this? Boomer stocks rule. Boomer stocks are the best for options. I love options on boomer stocks. So that's right, CK. DKNG, any thoughts on breakdown? Yeah, I do think we should look at DKNG. DKNG. So a little nasty. We did this in the webinar before. I did talk about this zone here around this 54, 50, 50, whatever it was, around that area. This is the box structure that we have. So the previous little supports, previous resistance, this area here, we're looking for turnaround features. This is a bad sell-off candle. It's only up 0.8% in the pre-market. You really need to see a recovery. Now, I'm not saying you need to see that lightning bolt on the daily, but I think like a 2-hour probably would be worthy, maybe a 1 hour even. These candles, nothing here is currently telling me, oh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling lucky. You break above maybe a 55.50, then you're feeling a bit luckier. But at this stage, it's still down, and we need to see some rally, whether it's a lot like a consolidation, a lightning bolt. We've got the area. Now we need to see the turnaround. We will watch DKNG for the next couple of sessions for sure. Finken79 says, I wish I had enough money to live off dividends. Yes, many Australians do live off the delicious dividends here in Australia. We have America, guys, you'll be like, wow. Did you know that our banks in Australia, they pay like 7% dividends? Yes, you heard that right. 7%. And did you know also that up until the pandemic, they were paying 10% dividends per annum, including the frank, what we call like a tax deduction. Holy moly, yeah? Who has better dividends than Australia? No one. No one, not including our franking credit if you're an Australian citizen. My God, it's good. It's pretty glorious. Roku, yes, I like the chart. We're watching Roku hard at the moment. 2 hour here. Look at that base formation happening. We're looking for it to get past. I think a 330 plus closure, and it's on 330, 340, but I don't really care about 340. I want it to go on. Very nice base formation. Let's take a look at the daily together. See this? What is this, guys? It's a 2-day long leg doji, pretty much. Oh, well, it won't be 2 days because it splits incorrectly. But you can see the buying, the selling, and the consolidation. The 2 hours, probably the key time frame I'd be looking at there. And you're looking for that breakout above this to take out all the nasty shorters. If it doesn't happen, it's not there. It's all about confirmation in trading. And I certainly probably eventually they'll be nasty bear food eventually. Yes. Facebook. Well, we talked about the horizontal support, our beautiful trend line channel that's been going up. Unfortunately, did break apart. 359. Look, there's nothing really to concerned about. I mean, on Facebook, I mean, underneath 350, yes, I think we're going considerably lower, but that will mean the indices are getting through lows as well. So remember, if Facebook's underneath 350, we expect the Nasdaq to be getting crushed. We expect all the indices to be doing the same things. And then the next big key levels could be like 320, 300. So Facebook for now, if you were buying this area, I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Fed will be a nothing burger. Certainly could be. RB 2223, $4.99. Is Disney buy the dip, or when would you jump in? So Disney supposedly flagged a growth problem or slowing growth. It's come down to a point of heavy support. If you like Disney, it's probably your zone. If you are waiting for a zone lower, I mean, you're seriously talking like this 155 area, because underneath this zone, if they're talking about slow growth concerns, underneath this zone is 150, 155. So this support must hold. I can't say it's unexpected. I follow Disney a lot. I follow their trend. They built Disney Plus in terms of it was a success faster than I even expected, which we rallied off. But they've got a lot of growth head concerns, and they are a very old company, so they get that real slowness about them. I don't know whether they're going to absolutely destroy Marvel and destroy the Star Wars franchises to make as many shows as possible, and that will create sugar rushes over the years. But yeah, this is the zone if you're interested in Disney. I would prefer to see a little turnaround, but you have to go dial in on the smaller time frames. So like a 15-minute or 1 hour. He was the Elf King, talking about Elrond. There we go. Lord of the Rings is legendary. Yeah, I love the books, but yeah, that extreme 9 hours of films was too much. Don't do it ever again. Yannick Gives says CHF $5. Hey Tom, please TA the ATER. Okay, we'll do that. We'll get into crypto in just a second as well. Market's still holding around that 0.75 up today on the US 500 ahead of the FOMC, and US 100.62. Big news. Evergrande situation seems to be bailed at this time partially by the Chinese government. That's, of course, stabilizing markets. But as we know, if the Fed does something to destabilize, which is unlikely, then we could be coming right back down. ATER bounced off the 2 moving averages, which must have been a level we had last time we did this. Hopefully you were looking at this one, Yannick. I mean, right now, looks good, hey? Fell off. Rallying up. Let's go to the 4 hour. Go to the 2 hour. There's not much TA here, really, that you're thinking, oh, yes, that's awesome or anything. But I will say you've got the base. You've broken above that kind of resistance here and resistance here. And that last time rallied to 18. So I don't see any reason for you to be scared in this current one. It's up 11.85%. It looks overall pretty good. I had a gap trade on ATR, did good. Yeah, well, it looks like it's looking fun. It's crazy, but it's looking fun. Wide Awake says, where's Smeagol? Yeah, they need Smeagol coin. Exxon Mobil's yield is almost 7%. That's all right. And Phil C says, that's a sweet dividend, my lord. Yeah, they're pretty good divs. We got the best divs. Ulrich Nielsen, and we're not crazy company divs either. They're quality companies. Ulrich Nielsen, DKK, $50. Rolls Royce, he loves this Rolls Royce, guys. Every day it's Rolls Royce day, and I don't blame you, Ulrich, because we talked about it. I like it. I'm not hating on the Rolls Royce. I liked a lot of what you saw, and it could be just getting started. Where would your confirmation for a big run be? We're above the descending trend line. Fair enough. Yep. So this trend line that he's talking about is through these peaks here. Maybe adjust that slightly. We are above. Would like a closure above there, I guess. From September 2019 and descending trend line from June 9th. Yep. So I got the June one. And the trend line that you're talking about must be like literally pulling a monthly out. I don't know this one. I'm not sure what you're looking at there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It does look much, much stronger. So, yes, that's a good closure above. Yes, this monthly, like is in previous month, was already very strong. I can see why people started to edit into it. I'm surprised Rolls Royce is so cheap still, with all this other brands doing well and luxury being so popular. I don't even know why it's down here, but I've never looked at their balance sheet, so why would I know? It's a good sign. It's a good sign. Go down to the daily. And you're asking where would you think stronger things are coming? Probably a little bit higher than 120 and the weekly closed. So higher than 120 in the weekly closed. And I think you're starting to ramp. And then watch the monthly close above as well, Ulrich. And then there could be some serious moves. Next level will be about 170. Yes, you heard that right. I think it's about 170. I'll put a little line there for you. There you go, sir. Thank you very much, as always. Dav G, Aussie says, Aussie Cobber sent you a super sticker. Thank you very much for a coffee, $4. Thank you very much, sir. And I've got the Abby one. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Dave. Nathmate says, thanks for the great vids and info, Tom. Keep it up, mate. Will do. Absolutely. And then Lost Gamer says, RR sold lots of its departments. They should be recovering now. Yeah, this chart looks a lot better than usual. It does look better than usual. So I can see why people are looking at it now. Absolutely. Let's take a look at a couple of stocks that I've been watching over the last couple of days. So this is one of them, Snap, not one of my favorite companies in the world, but I saw the weekly last week. It came back down to the support and it's had some pretty nice buying off it. I also noticed earnings is now only, if you can believe it, 35 days away. So into earnings, we know it's had some strong earnings here, Snap. And I think the market will kind of buy the rumor a little bit on this because we had big gap up on the last earnings and it's had a couple of good sessions. What do you guys think about this chart? You may hate Snap, but what do you think about this chart? To me, it kind of looks like one of those credit plays. You've got an incredible base. You obviously know when you don't want to be anywhere near writing options. And you've got that really downward sloping kind of trend here with the bodies. So it's been consolidating for a while. Will Snap start to run? Worth $120 billion. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. Let's put that in comparison. How much is Twitter worth? Twitter's 50 billion. Facebook is obviously huge. 1 trillion. What else we got? I think of any other social networks. Pins, but that's going to be a lot lower. 33.79 billion. Still sick as pins. This is why you don't buy the dip on sick gaps. You've got to wait for the turnaround, which we still are. Pins is really slowing. Houston Vision says Snap will go higher. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. The Snap chart is not bad at all. It's consolidated for a long time here. And already there are signs, you know, the base, We're going to add that back into the list. Come here, Snap. Check that out. I don't know anyone that uses Snapchat. Really, really young audience use it. I don't personally use Snapchat either, but I know that people that do use Snapchat, they love it. They love it. No worries, FX Russ. If you're watching this in replay, I saw your message. All good. People seem to like the Snap. We've done Facebook. We talked about it. Have a look at PLTR. Palantir, incredibly disappointing on the rallies. I expect better from Palantir. It should be holding the 27.30, but at least it's holding the 20 up. If you like Palantir, this is still very fair. It should have some price elasticity to its breakout the other day. Let's go into the really small time frames here on Palantir. Geez, it's susceptible to getting tanked, isn't it? There's no diamond hands holders here. Are you a diamond hands holder of PLTR? Let us know in the chat right now. Thank you as well to the 1,054 people that are joining us. 27 minutes away from the market open, so not much longer now. Supports, resistance. Get above 27.30 again and start the rally. 27.30, 27.30, 27.30. Did the Fed have the meeting yet? No, Simon. It happens a little bit later. Make sure you get an economic calendar so you can chuck it up with your time. 2 p.m. New York time, 2:30 for the press conference. But the statement will be the big movement. And then the conference, they'll just talk. We're going to use tools and we're going to do things with the market. And yeah, we're waiting and we're still concerned. And I don't know what else. Rubbish, they say. The rubbish. PK Subban says scaled out of PLTR. Don't blame you. And Conscious Investing says everybody I know uses Snap. There you go. Abraham Quito, $4.99. Will Neo see a run today? Ooh. Neo. Where is this thing? I haven't looked at it since it made me sick a little while ago when it went up here and no one was selling for some unknown reason. Remember, we talked about this zone, guys. Neo, it's up 1% pre-market. Oh wow! I mean, you're back in the low zone. Jeez, gonna have problems with this though. 37's gonna have issues. Got all that previous support that's now gonna act as resistance. If you like Neo, this is one of the times that you're looking at it from an investment standpoint. It is those lows. But I tell you what, it's got some work to do, guys. It's got to go through here. So that's going to be a problem. And once it gets there, it's got $40. Oh, it has so many key points to get through. And that's a real pain. A real pain. Let's take a look at Barber. That, even though it's a totally different industry, let's see what Barber's doing pre-market. 151. Oh, man. Barber really looks like a 130 stock right now. I hope it can turn around, but I really say this to you guys. If you're looking at it from an investment standpoint with a 5-year, window on it, then maybe you could buy these zones. But if you're looking to trade this thing, geez, you've got to be very careful. I mean, how many people are probably bag holding from up here and bag holding and bag holding and bag holding? Just remember, buying the dip on a stock that's being manipulated is not the best. Not the best. LCID, I checked that out before. It's not really easy to find a key profit level or anything for it. Dom, $20. Thank you very much. No message here from Dom. Oh, he does say later, but thank you. Let's give him a clap, guys. Thank you very much, Dom. Appreciate your support. It says, good morning. I'm looking to increase my position in Uber, but hesitant to average up after the big move yesterday. Could you give me your take for entertainment purposes only? Oh yeah, my entertainment purposes on Uber. Are you sure you want to pay me for that? It's mostly just me ranting about how I don't think the company is very good. Look, of course, news, whatever it is, robots flying in the skies, whatever they said, that's cool. And it may create some sugar rush hype. I think 48 and 52 are the clear levels. They're the clear kind of big resistance, big support zones. Let's have a look at it from a weekly perspective to see if we can get any cleaner reasons. I still feel like that's probably the area. Let's have a look at the 4-hour. Yeah, 48 makes sense. You got that support, that resistance, the support. You've obviously had this zone a few times touch. Just above that, you've got your volume profile stuff. So see the volume profiles through this area. And then the next level is about 52. So if you are wanting to pick this up, because I believe it could be a sugar rush, unless there are really great foundations, go check stock twits, Dom. Because if it's all over stock twits, actually someone tell me in the chat, is this all over Wall Street Bets, all over stock twits, all over YouTube and stuff that everyone's talking about it? Because if it's a hyped thing, it can just go straight into resistances. I really like 42 as a pickup. I don't even mind the 43 as a pickup because the previous support. So I could see it come down, pick up off this zone, and then move back to 48. But my take is most likely a sugar rush style announcement for a company that is becoming more irrelevant by the day. And that's just my opinion. So don't downvote me for it. I just don't see how Uber it's getting thrashed in Asia, Southeast Asia. I think it's irrelevant already in Uber Eats. You know, that's my personal opinion. I think Dash smokes it. I haven't used Uber Eats in years. I won't use it again. When I do use those services, I use Dash. I like Dash. Biega MC says message volume up on stock twits. Yes, that's right. Hans Doll says at FX Evolution, Tom's entertainment purposes, educational purposes, got me paid 1K off the SPY. I love Tom's educational concepts. That's right. Educational concepts are really great when you find your key zones. And I think the indices have been the easiest. Some of these stocks are weird. They really are. They're very marginal. And when you guys say, oh, look at this stock, unfortunately, it's not every day you look at a stock and you think, oh, that's a great level. What you actually should be doing as a trader is finding your key 5 to 10 or maybe 20 stocks that you like to look at and you learn them. You become one with those stocks. I would suggest indices are definitely a good pick. Some FANG stocks. Apple is incredibly liquid. Another one to watch. And then when you find key resistance support levels are breaking, you get involved in the 5-minute, 1 hour, you're going to probably have more successful trades over time. If you go and look at every other stock, like a lot of people are saying, Tom, what scanner do you use? Look, frankly, I don't scan for every stock in the market. There's no point. Why do I care? You have ways and means of making money off the big guys and the big stocks with the high liquidity. Why do I need to go hunting random penny stocks? That's usually where every person begins. Someone that's been trading a long time, come into the chat, let the people know, did you start at penny stocks and then move through to medium tier stocks and then move through to larger caps? Let us know in the comments section. Tell us, is that what you did? Let's take a look at the crypto markets. So the old BTCs coming back up to the previous kind of 43, 44 lows. I don't really care for the BTC analysis. So let's go over to our Ethereum analysis where things are much better. So Ethereum coming up to 3K. Yes. Nice. 3K. A very pivotal moment. If it can close above 3K, great signs. Let's go to the smaller time frames. Ethereum actually a better chart than Bitcoin. Oh, much better. Let's go to 2 hour. 20 moving average. Nasty. It's been keeping it down. Would love to see this thing crack 3K. I agree with you guys. It's a big thing. Let's have a look at Cardano. Cardano. 220. We talked about it yesterday. Did not get the closure above. And these 2 hours above 220. Great base formation just underneath 2. I like the Cardano chart as well. Very nice. Sabrina Klein says, that's definitely what I did. All my penny stocks are down. Higher price stocks are all up. That seems weird. It's not weird, guys. It's called the trap. Penny stocks are not called penny dreadfuls for a reason. You might get one. It's a 10 banger. You hit 10x. You're like, yes, I'm a god. I picked them all right. And then you pick a whole bunch that sit there forever and do nothing. John Downard says, started large cap, but like most have paid pennies a stock or two. Yeah, look, it's cool to have a little bit of penny stock, but just remember that's one of the things that you don't want to do necessarily forever. CMAX says, trading is like a business. You need a lot of money, in my opinion. I don't think you need a huge amount of money, but you need to have a ton of patience and a ton of discipline. You need to reward your account with more balance. Go check out fxevolution.com. Get the Presic account builder. It's free. And then learn how you would build on your account. Basically, if you have $5,000 account or a $2,000 account, I don't care what it is. When you make a certain amount of money, take your paycheck, reward your account with a certain balance. You make $250, put your paycheck of $250 against it. And then multiply it, compound that beastie out. Pet Brett says, I started with AMC, a very dangerous gateway drug. Absolutely. Slobodon says, I trade only 10 stocks. Fair enough. And James Gale says, I went from large cap straight to options. Nothing wrong with doing that. ADA, Ed L says, yes, I like ADA chart. I do. Let's see what other people are saying here. Pietro says, I started with Google. Not a bad stock to start with. In fact, if you just have Google, that's probably not the worst portfolio in the world either. I could think of worse. It's like what, if you look at Warren Buffett's, not his company, but his holdings, just like all Apple. It's just all Apple. A lot of you guys, I started with GameStop. Yeah, look, we all start somewhere. Most people start in a pandemic. They start in a crash. They start in that kind of thing. Yes. I started with Tesla. Fair enough. Look at you guys. Franklin Matthew says, one stock under my belt. Fantastic. Looking to add a few more to know well. Great attitude. And then Daryl Wong says, I started with pumpy dumpy biotech penny stocks. Yeah, actually not a bad place to start, especially if you're looking for SECs and filings and stuff. Oh yeah, the filings can be beautiful. You know, the pumpy dumpy filings. I know where you probably found them too. It's a YouTuber, I'm sure. I don't disagree with that YouTuber's concepts, by the way. I think that if you can find filings and realize that they're all pumpy dumpies, then yes, learn from the left if it's a pumpy dumpy, and then don't fall into the mistake of believing whatever the hell news. Oh, it's curing cancer. Yeah, how many of them are really curing cancer? You know what I mean? Sure. I mean, cancer is absolutely terrible, but these companies all say they're doing something. It comes out and then it booming into it, and then it's never as good as they think. I wish it was, but it's never as good as they think. Let's take a look at Tesla here. We are 15 minutes off the market day. Long leg doji. Resistance, support. Long leg doji. No closure above yet, but the morning is looking promising. So we've got this 742. We're going to open above that. If we get a closure above that, great news for Tesla fans. 760 again, and 760 above that would be fantastic. Remember, there are so many puts at 700. I have no idea why, but that is a big put wall. And whoever's selling 700 or buying $700 puts could be insane. It's just too much there. Dom, $10. Thank you very much. Great points about stocks you love. I'm killing it on a stock that was just uplisted to Nasdaq. Fantastic. Something happening behind the scenes based on the move. No options yet and no hype. Look at LWLG. All right, let's have a look, sir. Again, if you haven't got this, big trend line on Tesla. These are the key levels I'm looking at. And of course, you've got your 760. And I think if we get past 760, I don't even care about the 780 anymore. Get out of here, 780. We're going up here. Yeah. Well, I mean, probably 800 will be the first stop, but We're going back. It's just looking too fantastic. Sound Whisperer says, unfortunately, cancer is $1 billion industry. Oh, I'm sure it is. It's probably unfathomable about its money because it's, my mum's had it. It's terrible stuff. It's horrible. I feel for anyone that ever has that, or ever goes through it, or ever has family members. But regardless of that, the problem is it's incredibly difficult to obviously fix, and therefore they come up with those excuses, or they come up with these reasons, and it pumps in, and then the news, unfortunately, always disappoints, and I wish it didn't. Dom is asking about LWLG, Lightwave Logic. $14. Chemical specialty, 1.27 billion. So not exactly cheap. It's not true penny. It's rallied heavily already. So there must be some hype about it. Overall, looks relatively strong. And you've had some great breakout just the last day. Fantastic. Great closure. It's moving forward. It's probably correct, Christopher. That's probably correct. Pet Brett said, did Europe figure out their energy crisis? No idea. Usually isn't something. Yeah. It's not. I don't know. The energy crisis doesn't sound fancy enough to rock a market. I mean, I'm sure there's problems, but it's about cutting through news. Realistically, all these it's like the Suez Canal thing. Remember when we had that barge kind of blocking the Suez Canal? There's the canal, there's the barge in the middle. It's like, oh, we can't get through, and the market went down. Oh, global trade's destroyed. We can't move the barge, and the market went down slightly. Please, that'll turn around. It's about cutting through the crap. There's always a new piece of article. There are some things that are big issues. Technically, Evergrande's situation is big if you don't realize that they want to fix it. But eventually, all those problems will come out. LWLG looks relatively okay. And it's certainly on the ramp at this stage to the 15, you would think. 15. Let's go through a couple of stocks and commodities. So we have gold sitting right underneath the previous support, becoming resistance. Let's go have a quick look at a 2 hour so you guys can see it. There it is, floating around ahead of the news. We totally expect it to be there. Dollar index is similar. If we have a look at the 2-day, what you'll notice, long leg doji at the peak. Resistance, previous closure. Obviously, over here, we have the previous resistance, and we've got the long leg doji. We close above. It is on for the dollar index. We close below, back down we go to 92.60. So FOMC holding all these things at these areas. Let's take a look now at also some of our favorite stocks. So Square in the middle of nowhere land, I still feel. If you like it, this 240 248 support is relatively good. Apple 141 support, long-term trend line still here. I like that a lot. Actually. If we ever get down to that trend line, I feel like that's where the market will bottom out. But yeah, it's stuck in the zone. If you're looking for buys, 145 plus should be a rally that will happen at the same time the Nasdaq goes above the resistance, I would think. Joey NG says a lot of puts on Tesla at 700 means that it is a resistance. It means it's a support, Joey. So when there's so many puts at a level, we detailed this really last week. It's not so much about every single put and call that we see, because of course there's tons of those. But what you might see is you may see like exceptional outlying points. So when you can bring up charts like this obviously provided in our private trading group, 7-day free trial, guys. Link in the description down below if you're interested. You can get access to these for your favorite stocks. And what it really tells you is it tells you that there is an unholy amount of calls or puts at a zone. And this is what I call like a call wall or a put wall. All right. And when you have put walls or call walls, it just means before that expiration, in this case, 24th of September, it's incredibly unlikely the market will want to be above 450. And we bring that in because if we know technical analysis and we have a resistance at around that 450, or we have the market kind of trending up into that area, do we expect it to be able to get through on Friday? No. But do we know that if we close that resistance and then there's nothing for the next week, could we continue on? Absolutely. So this can be a good take profit zone if we're well aware of where these walls are. So yes, there is a huge wall of 700. The puts at 700 are massive. And you know what's funny about the puts at 700? Look at this trend line for Tesla. It's right at 700 if it is to come down. Exactly there. Facebook is selling off, says Ruby. It is underneath the trend line, but it's all about that support, Ruby. So if you have a look at Facebook, here's your big support. Oh, pre's underneath. Okay, 3% down. I didn't even realize. Oh, Facebook underneath this level, underneath 350. Okay, I didn't see the pre. Well, if it closes under there, yeah, I mean, it's down, 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 down. And Facebook can really get flogged too. I'll demonstrate the floggings that Facebook can take. I remember a few of them. I got burnt by one. Where was it? Over here. It went down. And then I remember I was liking it around this 150 level. And I might have dipped my toes in a little bit of 150. I did. I have to hodl that one a little bit. I planned on it, but yeah, that was a bit nasty. Stupid Facebook. When it goes down, it can really, really get tanked. Obviously, there's the pandemic. Drops can be fairly fierce on Facebook. And the rallies come through as well. So if it is going to close underneath this 350 today, very interesting. There's the weekly 20, so you can see it. The next support, I really feel like it's down all the way down here. I could even see it going back to 300. So in these areas, this is a very interesting thing. See where it closes. Not bullish on that. Sync bought a messenger business to compete with Facebook. Oh, there you go. Dead cat bounce today, Tob, says Jassa. I'm just looking at the 4,400 for the US 500. It closes above. It's hard pressed to think it's going bearish. If it finds resistance, sells off that level, sure, dead cat bounce. PK Subban says scale into Facebook, certainly an option. It is underneath that support. Christopher Weltmer says Tesla going to be at 800 soon. I kind of feel it as well, Christopher. I don't really care about the valuation. I feel that the chart is making me feel it. It's like AMC a few weeks ago when I was excited about it, and now I'm less than excited about it. This chart is looking bullish. It held amazingly. It was like Snapchat. It was holding up so strong through all of this turmoil in the markets. Tesla don't care. It's barely moving compared to its normal 5% swings in bad markets. So yeah, Tesla is trying. If the market stabilized, you got to think this thing's going bullish. Let's keep going through some of these stocks. Amazon, relatively weak yesterday. Above 3,400 gets the rally, I feel, to 35, but must be above 3,400. Each one of these 100 points, or not 32. 32 is no support. Oh, sorry, 32 is support. So each one of these hundreds is support. Yeah, that's the level there. But I like this more into the late October, November play. I do think Amazon is relatively fairly priced. Like I believe in that thing at the end of the year. Google, at support if you like it. I don't really like the price. Enphase, nothing. Microsoft, buyback, so you can't really trade it. RK, I wouldn't trade it anyway, but it's stuck in its range. If you like RK, then it is at the bottom of its range. Beam, not much to say about Beam. Edit, similar support for Edit. This is a biotech company. Let's have a look at CRISPR. CRISPR's right on support, but I don't like CRISPR until it gets back above 128. With these biotech stocks, they can sit for a while. So wait until they get into participation phase, and then you get that explosive move like we did recently in the start of the year. I like the stocks, but I like them when they break out. SPLK remains in a very good kind of position. CRM, I still like this stock at these prices. TDOC still random. Barber, all of those no good. Let's have a look at Nvidia. Anyone picking up Nvidia here? If you want a breakout zone right above that, there you go. 214.50-ish. Not bad. Airbnb, yeah, we'll take a look. Roku, we spoke about the basing formation here. Etsy still looks really good. Nothing wrong with this chart around the consolidation towards the bull. DKNG, we talked about that. Airbnb, yep, still looks really good. Still grinding its way. We've got 180 target for Airbnb. Nothing's changed. Intel, I still like it to the long, but probably won't come through till November. Intel comes back down to test the downward. It's killed my inverse head and shoulders, but I do still think Intel is okay. Spot looks a bit sick. Netflix at support. If you like it, look for turnarounds. Nvax at support. If you like it, look for turnarounds. There will be news soon for that. That'll go nuts either way. Futu too low. PayPal on support. Not that strong. Zoom on support, not that strong. So there's a lot of stocks that are just in the middle of nowhere land. Twitter, meh. ONCT, key resistance about 460. I don't think there's much there. Why have we still got that thing in here? Get rid of that. Zillow. I like this stock a lot soon. I really do. This base formation, double bottom, 100. I really want that a lot. I've been watching this thing for a long time. Been patient for it, guys. Been patient. PK Summon says Nvidia is still expensive. It certainly is. Cold steel, $5 high. Can you have a look at QS? Short interest is at 160%. Ooh, that's big. Got 1 minute till the market opens here. So this looks like it got a rally yesterday at the key resistance. We're just about to ding into the market open, but check out that right at resistance. It closed above there, could create a massive flurry. Check out your stock tweets, interest, message volume, that kind of thing. Not bad. QS at the resistance here. If it is going to squeeze, that's going to be the key zone. Thank you very much, Cold Steel. Not bad. No, Nvax will have the news on it. So here we go, guys. We're talking about being short, sharp, and nimble in these sessions. I think indices present the best trades at the moment. That's my personal opinion. Just because we've got good gaps, we've got good other areas. Got the QQQ open here. Let's use the NDX quickly. And we'll use the SPX so I can detail, not the DPX, whatever that is, the SPX so I can detail the key levels. Today, we're looking for basically a 4,400 plus closure on the SPX to fill that gap. That gap should move up and be filled if we get the FOMC above that. It's very similar on the Nasdaq if that's what you choose to trade. We're looking at this 51 kind of 70 zone. We close above that. We fill the gap. It's a good trade there. If it does end up getting underneath yesterday's session lows, so you can go in to see the session lows. Let's quick check it out in the 15-minute. Here's our session lows. Then we move all the way back down, I feel, to the 14.8. 14.8 key support. Underneath that for the Nasdaq, 14.5 and 14,050. The best level, 14,050. I would love it. Love, love, love the 14,050 from a technical level. QS, we need, if you like this thing for whatever reason, then it's all about above this resistance, and that will allow the floodgates to open. Markets have come in, technology very weak, 0.3% up, 15,054. The rest of the market, the US 500, sitting at 43.75. Let me see if I can get the markets as they sit. Let's just get this over here for a second. Take a look at these sectors. All right. So energy moving the strength here in the morning, hence why the Dow and S&P are up. Financials as well up. Technology very weak. Same with the water, the the agriculture, and the healthcare, all quite weak. Materials up marginally. XLB 1.1%. If you're wondering what this program is, it's Koifin. It's what I use in the daily videos. It's free. It's pretty damn good, and I definitely think it's a nice thing. Did I look at Adobe? I did not. I can do that for you, Kim. Why not? Adobe down 4%. Adobe is rip-off right now. Rip-off. You know what kicks Adobe's ass? Canva. And yes, I'm Australian, so I'm going to advertise Canva. We love Canva here on the stream, guys. Canva. And if you're an aspiring YouTube person, you should also love Canva and buy Canva and use Canva. Thank you very much to the 1,100 people here listening to my Canva advert. Not actually sponsored by them, but I will say what a great product. It's very good. Adobe, haven't used it in a long time, though it does have great products as well. What's it worth? $300 billion. Wow. Wow. William Varley says, I always use Canva for my Amazon listings. Joe Ratte says, Canva sucks. It doesn't suck if you're a noob, Joe. You might know how to use the fandangled Photoshops and the Adobe products. But when you're a noob or a school teacher or a noob like me, not saying school teachers are noobs, but when you're in those industries, they love it, guys. They love it. Absolutely. Flat Hat says, man, I love Canva. Great, simple to use app. That's right. Canva is not really comparable to Adobe Suite. It isn't. But you know what I believe is we used to have Adobe Suite. I personally had Adobe Suite, barely could use the damn thing, and I moved to Canva because for my needs, I don't need Adobe. I do not need it. Canva is for amateurs. Well, I'm an amateur, Lucian. I'm not an amateur in the markets, but yes, I am an amateur in this type of thing. The problem is there is a huge amount of amateurs that have the Adobe Suite. I bet you there is. I bet you any money that there is a ton of amateurs that have the Adobe Suite that don't know about Canva. All right, so it looks like the market's dropped here a little bit ahead of the FOMC. We're down slightly. Let's go through some of these key stocks. Square up 1%. The big ones, the ones we care about, the FANG, Apple, Amazon, Google's, they're all marginally up. So very weak there from them. And I would be watching Apple like a hawk, guys. Watch this Apple hawkishness. It's hit the resistance straight away and then sold off a little bit. So we'll go down there to the 1 hour so you can see it. Look at that. Resistance, sell, resistance, sell, resistance, sell. Get underneath those lows. It looks just like the Nasdaq itself because it is such a huge part of it. And of course, we close underneath 140. Hey, you got me convinced. At 141, you close underneath that. I'm starting to think we're really in a proper correction that will give us our bottom trend line on the Nasdaq. And I'll be very excited because I will be like putting in little smidgen into some stocks that I like. My personal opinion. Nothing for you guys. Derek 4 with 1 million zeros for Hong Kong, $50. Thank you very much, sir. Hi with 1 million zeros. Don't worry, I don't forget, man. Could we take a look at TTD and Netflix? Thank you. Also, Adobe is pure evil. Ooh, subscription costs are through the roof. Yes, and it's too expensive to buy the stupid PDF creator. So I use a different program. Nah, I used the Adobe program, but I do think it's a little bit rip off for what it is. That's the only thing I've got left in Adobe, the Adobe PDF thing. All right, let's move over to some of the stocks you're asking about. By the way, here is Lumen, which we've looked at in previous sessions. I mean, don't mind this little 1255 area, though I'm not a huge fan of that stock. Nflx. Let's look at Netflix first. Netflix broke out of the channel. I feel like it's pretty strong at the moment. I think it will regain share from the Disneys. as well. Maybe that's part of it. But look, it's still really good. This is the resistance. It's bouncing off that like it's support, which is exactly what you want it to do. It's holding up pretty damn well in this pullback. It don't care. Once it gets past 590, we move back to the 610. 590, 610. That would be the technical way of doing things. Let's have a look at the trade desk. Not bad. I mean, it's not good, but let's have a look. Rejection. Okay. I don't even know why we've got that, so we'll get rid of these things. Go the 2 hour. Seems to be basing very nicely. Doesn't care about the rest of the market too much. As we know, it's a trading company, so it really should be doing pretty well during these times. We've got resistance, 74, 74, 74. 70. I like that resistance. You close above, you pull back, and then you can take it long. Yeah, not bad. Trade desk just looking for that base formation. And the other good news about it is it's exactly the same low as was before and very similar resistance level as well. Fantastic. Tom, check out FedEx. Yeah, we saw that before. Finale. Ooh, down 8% now. Ooh. Oh no, it's underneath. Goodbye, FedEx. Goodbye. How low does FedEx go? Will it hit the 199 level? Chat, will it hit 199? What do you think? Market's currently down 0.28% up on US 100, US 500, 0.56. FedEx 225. Someone says, oh, I don't know what the hell 225 is. Is that a zone? FedEx getting destroyed. Corey says, with Disney talking lower subscriber growth and cutting back production dates, Netflix up with a little arrow. What's high growth, Christopher? Zom. Yes, I use Epic Pen. That's the drawing app. But it only is for you to draw. Just remember, you would then have to take a snapshot of your screen if you wanted to, which I think you can actually do from the program. Yeah, you can take a screenshot from the program. Just reading some other things here. New FedEx was going to fall when CNBC was pushing it hard to buy. How is DE looking? Let's have a look at DE. John Deere. It's looking like it's trying to do a double top. That's what it's looking like. Not a company I would hold anymore, personally. Good company, rip-off price. These are the type of companies that you know have sugar rushes in them. And I, for one, know that farmers are relatively doing okay at this time. Maybe some aren't, but in Australia, I can tell you, other than dairy farmers, which are in horrendous, the beef farmers and a lot of the crop farmers are doing quite well. They're doing quite well. How do I feel about Zom, Media Corp? Really no opinion on it. It's worth really small money, so I don't have much opinion on it. It's risky, would be what I'd say. SNDL, let's have a look at Sundial. Doing nothing, man. Stupid Sundial. Coming off support. So it looks like the market is going to just basically be kind of hovering here a little bit, guys. Some stocks are doing okay. Be careful, of course, in these Chinese stocks, even though they are up. They'll be up because of the Evergrande situation. Nflx is up 1.89. Cool. PLTR up marginally, trying to get back above that 27. And it looks like there's like a bit of a mixture on everything here. I believe the FOMC is probably what you're really looking for. Hopefully, we get some clarity in terms of the market. If you don't want to trade before the FOMC, I don't blame you. 2 p.m. and 2:30, they're the times to watch. Unfortunately, I will not be live streaming that. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys coming in. I hope you have a great session. Indices, I still think, is one of the better places. And of course, if you're taking shorts, be fast, be nimble, be quick. Don't be stupid. It's very difficult for you to call the next bear bust. How many people call bear busts the entire way through, other than me always making nice, very, very amazing Canva thumbnails that obviously say danger zone? But you know when I'm talking, I obviously bring in the optimism. But you've got to do it for the clickbait, guys. A little bit of clickbait. Don't hate on the clickbait. But realistically, pays to be an optimist. Bear busts are hard to pick. So what you're really looking for here is key zones that you can pretty much get back in to buying these beasties up. That's the way you're looking at it. Ed Jones, I have absolutely no care about the nuclear subs. I think that it's all whatever. Doesn't worry me. I don't really know what it means. But if it's political, I don't want to talk about it. Mark Newton says, Tom, check out Plug Power. Oh, yeah, we've done Plug a few times. I'll do that before we end. Let's have a look at Plug Power. You say 4 hour looks good. Okay. Looks like it's formed a decent double bottom. Yeah, I totally see what you're saying. Base. It's moving up. Get your resistance. Close above that. And you really could be starting some nice rally here on Plug. And it's already had a nice run on it. So, yeah, I agree. That is a base. Workhorse getting crushed. Is that even a stock anymore? Was it work? Oh, man, I forgot what the code is. WKHS. Ooh. I hate this stock. This stupid SPAC thing. Yep. I knew all the SPACs were bad. Every SPAC is medium quality. Workhorse cancelled one of its vehicles. This was a SPAC, wasn't it? I can't remember. I think it was. Mama says, I did it again, Tom. I tried to tell y'all, check out FRPT. Fresh Pet Inc. Well, you had a very nice base. Yes. It's a great trade, Mama. You should have sent it to me in Discord. If you send me a quality like that, I'll give you a promotion on YouTube. You can have a promotion on YouTube, Mama. Become the free mod. That's a great trade. Congratulations. That's very nice. I like it a lot. What a beautiful base formation. Give Mama a clap, guys. Fantastic. I don't even know what the hell this thing is, but what a beautiful base formation. You get your closure out, you get your scale percentage in off your base, and then it just ramps. I love it. I would have scaled off at 152. Fantastic trade. Congrats. It really is a great trade. I don't care what the hell that is. That could be Guatemalan berries, and I would still buy the berries up because the berries look really, really good. Have I ever been to Lord Howe? No, I haven't. You don't like airlines? That's true. But setup isn't bad. That's true. Some airlines are probably looking all right. I noticed a few didn't fall. Look, I don't need to trade airlines. I don't have to trade everything. But yes, you're right. If it's a setup, it's a setup. Who cares? It's technical. It's great. That's fantastic setup. You see that on Apple, you just be like going nuts. Bye Facebook. Let's take a look at Facebook again. Yes, 343. Well, you are right. Underneath 350 was gnarly. I didn't realize it was going to open so bad pre. I don't know where the hell the support is for Facebook. Is it? Where is it? Where is it, guys? Where is the support? Is the support like 320? I feel like it's probably 320. 320, then 300. If that closes, gnarly. All right. See everybody. Well done with the pet food one. I use Tom's educational content and do opposite whatever is in the news. That is probably very fair. And use Koifin and the FX training. Thank you very much. And of course, we love it when you use FX training. Probably why I love your setup so much is that you've done our course. Guys, if you are interested, we got like 2 slots left on the mentoring for October. If you're interested in finding out a little bit more about what we do, or you're struggling with something and you want us to slam it into your head on what you're doing wrong and you want me to yell at you, yes, I do the mentoring along with my trading partner. There's 2 left, fxevolution.com. We've got an options course that's opened up now as well if you're interested in getting into the world of wonderful options. I love options. They're really great. And of course, we have our normal Ultimate Masterclass over there as well. So thank you so much, guys. We had a great day today. I'm looking forward to seeing what this stupid FMC is going to do. And then I'm going to get into some indices because you know what? Indices is cool. I'm liking indices right now. Key levels, key zones. We discussed them all. Remember, always use your NDX or your QQQ or your SPY or your SPX codes over the nasty futures market because then you can actually see where your gaps are. And remember, if things go above, they tend to fill that gap. That is the participation. Catch everyone. Bye for now.